years. I just think you're such an amazing leader. You have so much to say and so powerful. And I just want to thank you. We are truly humbled just to be here today to share with this powerful and amazing community that we have grown to love since we got started on this platform. I want to thank you, Keith, for having those broad shoulders in a time such as this. It is quite unique to see the level of leadership that you exude. And I truly honor and respect you in every sense of the word. So I just thank you. Thank you for addressing the community. I believe that many people, what you shared today, many people are very happy with what they heard. I know I am, and I'm grateful for everything that you shared with us today. And I just want to also send an amazing big shout out and hugs to our amazing leader, Brenda Chunga, AKA Bitcoin Beauty.
Yes.
She has always been such an inspiration to us. You know, it's amazing because who would have thought 10, 15 years ago when we got involved in another opportunity that we would meet then, connect, and then really just solidify our connection here in this opportunity. And so we're so grateful for Brenda and her leadership and for her having broad shoulders, because I know that she also carries a tremendous weight, you know, with everything that is taking place. And we just also want to thank all of our leaders and our members, our team. We would not be VIP 5 without a team. And so we honor our team. And I just want to, you know, of course, give absolute honor to my husband, Lou, my business partner, my best friend, my lover, my intercessor, my prayer partner, my coach, my inspiration. I truly love working with my husband. I love this opportunity and this industry as a whole, where you can really come together with your family, because for the first time in my life, I'm actually working with my sister, Aisha, my mom, Angela, my brother, Warren. They're actual leaders in the opportunity as well. So just absolutely amazing. I also want to just shout out a few people, Miss Moore, Viviana, Brunhill, my friend Nicola, who came in and became a leader. They became leaders. They've never been leaders in this industry before. I even have my accountant, you know, my amazing accountant, a part of the opportunity. So many people, you know, that we are just so honored and grateful to be working with, you know, and so we thank you, each and every one of you. We thank you for your support, for your encouragement, for your love. Thank you for showing up every single week and just encouraging the leadership. And so today, in light of everything happening on the platform, everything happening in the world at large, you know, yesterday I was in prayer and I heard faith while you wait. And I was obedient. I said, I am going to talk today about faith while you wait. And my prayer is that I will do it some justice. And so what I want to say is this: I don't know anyone who likes to wait. Most of us want what we want when we want it, especially in this microwave society. We're so used to everything happening instantaneously. You put food in the microwave, within seconds, it's hot. Right? You sign on to your computer. If it doesn't pop up instantaneously, we start tapping on the table. We start looking at the computer like, what's wrong with you? Why aren't you coming up? We get easily impatient in the times that we're living in, right? And so waiting is hard work, and at times can even test our faith. It's especially difficult when there's no guarantees that our waiting will produce a desired end, right? So most times that waiting period is stressful for a lot of people, because they're like, what's going to happen? Which is why what Keith was saying, some people start making predictions, people start making up what they think is going to happen. And so, you know, many of us we desire and long for things. We pray for things. There's many of us that's been praying for, some people are praying for their rewards, to their withdrawals to come through. And it might not even, let's say, not even hyper. Maybe you're praying for a spouse. Maybe you're praying for a child, a house, a career, whatever it is. But when we're in that waiting period, it can tempt us to become very impatient, sometimes discouraged, sometimes we start to worry. And there are those that start to wonder, does God hear us? Is he seeing what's happening, right? And so waiting is part of being human. We'll always be waiting for something, because I guarantee you, as soon as that one thing that you're waiting for, as soon as it comes through, there will be something else that you have to wait for. So life is a series of waiting. So the faith while you wait is so powerful. But guess what? A season of waiting doesn't mean you just sit still, right? To the contrary, our waiting season can be a time of great productivity, growth, development. And you can be developing yourself mentally, spiritually, emotionally, relationally. Now, whether the season lasts a few weeks or a few years, here are some ways to steward your time well. And before I go into those things, waiting, just think about this, can strategically cultivate good fruit in our lives, such as patience, perseverance, endurance, and patience. During this waiting season, sometimes it forces us to get quiet, to center ourselves, and it can draw us closer to God. I know that for me, in many times in my life, when I was in a waiting period, waiting for something, that's when I had to really surrender my heart to God and pray and get quiet and get centered. And so here's some of the things to do. Some of you may know these things, but these are just more reminders, right? I think it's powerful when we get these reminders. One, you can cultivate your gifts. We all have innate talents, skills, gifts, and callings, and it's important that we express them in our lives. Guess what? You were not created just to pay bills and find extra ways of making money. You were not created just to do that. There's some people you talk to and all they talk about is what bills they have to pay and all of these things. Yes, that's a part of the human condition, of a part of living, but you are greater than that. Right? And so I want to share a personal story of mine really quick. In 2015, unfortunately, my husband and I went through a very dark period in our marriage, and we separated for 2 years. Most people, when they see us together, they're like, you guys? Yes, Lou and Tracy Humphreys. Our marriage was attacked, and we decided, you know what? We're going to take a break. During that time, so much took place in our life. And when I look back on that time now and move forward, I actually am able to thank God that we were afflicted during that time, because it was that time that birthed our marriage ministry, Marriage Mechanics, right? So we decided, you know what? We got attacked, but we were able to overcome that attack. What are we going to do with this? Are we going to sit on this attack and not do anything with it? Or are we going to take it and use our testimony to help other married couples? And that's exactly what we did. And from 2017 until today, our little marriage ministry has been growing and great things are taking place. And with many of you that are listening, many of you are sitting on great ministries. Many of you are great authors, you're singers, producers. Many of you have business ideas and inventions. Some of you have gifts that can actually change this world, but you are sitting on your gifts and callings And please excuse my terminology, but you're trying to hatch them like a chicken sitting on its eggs. Today, I beg you, get off of the eggs, allow them to actually hatch and become chickens or whatever, right? And so I also, here's something even amazing that I want to share. I once read that the graveyard is one of the wealthiest places on earth because many died with their gifts inside of them. Think about that. What do you need to do to make sure you're living out what God created you to do? I pray that many of you will dust off those goals and those dreams and those aspirations and get moving with them, even in, especially in your time of waiting. You want to connect with your community. See, it doesn't matter where you live. Look at what's taking place on Zoom. Many of you are from all over the world, right? You're from all over the world, but you're connecting. You're in Africa, you're in Asia, you're in Spain, wherever, and you're connecting with people in the US, in the Caribbean, all over the world. And so what's so powerful about technology is we can connect. And this is a time when we have to come together as a community to encourage one another. We can get together on Zoom, Telegram, WhatsApp. We can talk to each other long distance for free. And so we're not alone. We can come together, explore our back offices. Maybe you know something that another person doesn't know, and you can show them, hey, you know what? Actually, these are things that are happening in Hyper. Hyper is actually moving forward. Let me show you what I've learned. And this way we can keep coming together cohesively and successfully and support one another while we're in this season of waiting. Some of you may want to start visiting places you've been putting off. I know for me, for instance, in the last over a year now, I put on a few pounds. I'm not ashamed to admit it, because I was sitting at my computer for hours on end, all day, all night. Some days it would just go blend week into week into week, right? And I realized sometimes I haven't really gotten up from this computer. There were times that my husband had to be like, babe, let's go out. And so when I would actually get up and leave my computer, leave my phone, and go outside, I realized how amazing nature is. We need to enjoy our environment, enjoy the outside, the parks, because I do know this: when you get out of your environment, it produces creativity. It helps take your mind off of things, the wait, what you're waiting for. It helps you to get refocused and recentered. And so going out, even traveling, doesn't have to take a lot of money, because some people be like, well, yeah, Tracy, we can go out, but I don't have money to do this and that. Guess what? Going to the park won't cost you. Going hiking in your area, you know, going on a picnic with your family, camping, do fun things, laugh, enjoy life. Sometimes we can be so intense. And when you're constantly in your computer and this thing, this phone, our faces are stuck in it. You see people going to dinner, couples going to dinner, and we've been guilty of it, but we remind each other to put the phone down and let's pay attention to one another. Go to dinner with your family, go out with your family, leave the phone in the car or leave it at home sometimes, and just enjoy life, enjoy the environment, enjoy some travel and some fun times. Maybe while you're waiting, you want to take classes. Classes are an excellent way to spend your time in your waiting season. Maybe you want to go to your local library, your local arts center, community college, whatever. Take some online courses to learn things like how to invest in crypto. Learn more about crypto and blockchain and NFTs. Some of you are unfamiliar with that space. This is a time for you to get familiar in a space that you are actually thriving in. You may want to look into how to fix your credit, how to build business credit, how to invest in more real estate, start a traditional business, how to get creative finances to do other businesses. And maybe you want to do something like cooking classes, dancing, writing, whatever. I'm just giving you guys some ideas of things that you can do while you're waiting, ways that you can actually express your gifts, your skills, your talents, how you can improve on them. And I have to say this because I am a believer. Now, during your waiting season, this is a time you can pour into the lives of others by leading a small Bible study group or a prayer group. Have prayer meetings, pray for those of you that are prayer warriors, intercessors, pray for the platform, pray for your community. Because discipleship is a great way to connect with other believers and cultivate accountability in your walk with God. How about reading? When was the last time you guys actually picked up a book and read it? I'm talking about a physical book, not on your phone, not on your computer, but an actual book where you sat somewhere quiet and read a book. You know, a leader once said that some of the greatest mysteries and secrets are hidden in books because many won't read the book, the whole book. When was the last time you read a whole book? Try setting a reading goal for the next few months over the summer. Read some powerful books that will bring you more wisdom, knowledge, which eventually brings understanding. Whether it's in business or different areas of your life that you have been thinking about. Oh, this is a big one. Limit the news and social media. Limit it. In this time when there's a lot going on in the world, it's easy to fall prey to negativity. And when you're in a waiting season, the news and even some aspects of social media can be the greatest enemy to your mind. Now, some people love to listen to, we call it CNN, constantly negative news. These things fills your mind with all kinds of disasters, what's happening in the world. Now, here's the thing. I'm not saying don't be informed because you don't want to be ignorant to what's taking place. But some people are constantly being fueled by this negativity, and you see it play out in their person by seeing more impatience, anger, bitterness, frustration. Because what you're not understanding is when that negative news is flooding your mind, that negativity is actually starting to work within you. Because that's how we are, that's how God made us. We are an expression of our environment. So whatever goes in, you start to see it come out through people's behaviors, through what they say and what they do. And so you want to stay away also from negative people who want to bring doom and gloom, people who like to point fingers and blame. You know, Keith said it earlier when he said, there's some people from the moment I started on this platform, they literally have been praying that things would crash. There are some people on the outside that is hating on the platform, hating on the leaders, hating on the fact that this is an opportunity that blessed so many people. So there has been this diabolical agenda to tear down the success that people have been having on this platform. And I think that that is so tragic. And so here's what I'm going to say to you. For those of you that are getting people on the outside, or even people in the opportunity that is saying all kind of negative things, or they say, oh, you know, y'all are drinking that hyper Kool-Aid, whatever. Let me say this to you. Try not to clap back, because here's the thing. Lions are never moved by the voices of sheep. please be a lion versus a sheep. Because when people say negative things, I'm like, whatever. Okay, you're entitled to your opinion, and you keep moving forward knowing what it is that God has put in your hands. Be like Keith, resilient. Now, sometimes social media also can have many voices that are vying for your, your time and your space. And so it can be very distracting. So you need to be very choosy about what you listen to, who you listen to when you're in a waiting season. That's a time that you want to be in a lot of encouragement, because peace of mind is very vital to your waiting. See, when you're waiting on a promise, if you start saying negative things like, I don't think it's going to happen, yeah, they're probably going to shut down, oh, you are actually speaking life. I want you all to start practicing this. When you're speaking, put your hand in front of your mouth and feel the vibration of what's coming out of your mouth. You see, you feel your voice, you feel when you talk, you feel that vibration on your hand. It goes out into the world and actually takes shape and form. So whatever you say, you shall have it. And so be mindful of what's coming out of this mouth when you're in waiting. Social media definitely can be a time waster. Like I said before, some people spend 5-10 hours a day just scrolling, watching other people, being a voyeur. But what are you really getting out of that? So if you think it will actually help you, when you're in a season of waiting, my suggestion, take off the social media apps for a little while so that you can keep your focus on the things that you're believing for. And another thing that I wanted to bring forward, what fears do you have? You want to start thinking about facing your fears. What fears do you have in your life? It is a known fact that many people fear success. They may get a little success and then they go backwards. They move 2 steps forward, 5 steps back, 5 steps forward, 10 steps back. Many fear failure, but failure is definitely a true part of business. It's a part of success. You will never understand success until you've failed a few times. If you talk to every leader on the platform that has had tremendous success, you would be absolutely amazed at how many times they rebounded from failure. And so many have also emotional fears, things that you need to get over, traumas that maybe you need to, it's time that you actually work on those things so that you will move forward powerfully and will not be hindered in your future success. Maybe you want to speak to a counselor or someone that can help you get over your fears. And now here are some final thoughts that I have for you. I want you to think about a few things, because this is something that resonates with me every day when I wake up. It wasn't an alarm clock that woke me up this morning. It wasn't your own strength that got you out of bed this morning. You know what it was? It was the grace and mercy of God that woke you up, because there are some healthy people, wealthy people, poor people, people from all walks of life that did not wake up this morning. If you check the news around the world, there are some people that did not make it today, but you did. So when you wake up, you have to be grateful every day. Keith talked about when he wakes up, he thanks God before he does anything during his day. So be grateful for every day you're above ground. And life, you all see the news of what's been taking place. Just in the last 2 weeks, life has been showing us that nothing is guaranteed. Well, there is something that's guaranteed. It might be your taxes, right? But life is showing us that nothing's guaranteed. And guess what? It wasn't your own efforts that caused you to have success in this opportunity or in your other business, investments, careers, in every area of your life. It wasn't just your own efforts. Our Creator is behind all of that. Guess what? It wasn't by happenstance that you met your spouse and you conceived your children. But let's talk about conception for a moment, because that within itself fascinates me. Think about this about yourself. I think about this about myself. You beat the odds out of 40 million people. I call them people. But 40 million of you were fighting in your mother's womb for conception. You are the one that made it. That alone makes you an absolute miracle. So you're special, you're wanted, you're needed, you have a purpose. If you made it through all of that, through 40 million, you have purpose. You're significant on this earth. And so how much time do you spend thanking God for what he has done for you, that you have breath in your body? Thanking him in advance for what you know is already going to happen. Even in your time of waiting, you know that there is going to be a time that what you're waiting for now will actually come to pass. Many of you are living a life that you prayed for when you were a teenager. Your children, your spouse, your home, your business, your successes, they were once a thought. They were once a declaration, an affirmation. How powerful is that? And so again, as a woman of God, I have to give a scripture that says, life and death is in the power of your tongue. That's Proverbs 18:21. Ladies and gentlemen, your family is alive. You're alive. You're on Zoom right now listening to me. You have shelter, food, clothing. I have traveled around the world. I've been to Nigeria. I've been to Kenya. I spent 4 months in Kenya. I've been to Spain, all over the Caribbean. I've been to so many different countries. I have seen, y'all. I have seen what poverty looks like. And I dare to say, none of you are living like that on this Zoom. You are fortunate. Many of you have been blessed with great means. It may not always be exactly how you want it. But again, be grateful, y'all. Be thankful. Because in order to receive more, you have to have a high level of gratitude. Because when you are condemning and complaining about what you have, why would you be entrusted with more? Just think about that. Look at your life. Look at your life. You're living everything that you thought about in your mind many years ago. Many of you have experienced unprecedented, uncommon success. Be grateful. Please, I'm going to say it one more time, be grateful. And as Keith said, if whatever we're doing here is not working for you, you are welcome to quietly step away and move on to do other things. You are a grown person. Nobody is going to stop you from doing the things you want to do. But please don't tear down others while doing so. Stay in your lane. And I want you to think about this. This is so important. And I have been thinking about it. Sometimes I have to apologize because maybe I've not always been 100%. But think about this, y'all. Your network is your net worth. Your network goes with you wherever you go. So how you treat your people is so vital. And because of this opportunity, many of us have been blessed with a whole new community of awesome people that we would have never been connected to that had we not come here to Hyper. There's so many things for you to be grateful for of what took place within this opportunity. I know I have met some amazing people. Just recently, I remember we were in Maryland in May. And I met some amazing leaders, connected with some amazing leaders. And, you know, one gentleman, Alton from South Africa, he's Jamaican. So he became like my Jamaican brother. You know, I met so many wonderful people. And then my team, just so many amazing, beautiful people in my own team that I have gotten to know and connect with. And we're still getting to know one another, but it's been such a beautiful journey. And we will be connected for many years to come. So be grateful for these things. And value the people and the relationships that God has put into your life. Do not impose your trauma on people. It's not fair. Respect them, honor them, treasure them for what it is that they have brought into your life. And so I want us to start declaring what we believe and not necessarily what we're seeing in the moment. Because what you're seeing in the moment is just a development of what's to come. And sometimes when greater things are happening, as Keith said, the branches, old branches must be pruned. This is also a pruning time, especially when it comes to this business. There's some, unfortunately, we don't like to call it that, but it is when you look at it in terms of horticulture, right? You have to snip off the old leaves. The old dead leaves and weeds have to be pulled out in order for a healthy tree or plant to emerge. And so I'm almost done here. The word tells us in Genesis that we are made in his image. So that means we have the capability to do and create what God can do and create. So if your mouth can create whatever you say, it shall be so. I am re-emphasizing this. Some experience the fruit of their words immediately. Some of you, as soon as you say it, you see it. Some will eventually reap the fruit of their words, good, bad, and indifferent. So starting today, what are you going to create with your thoughts? And what are you going to create with your mouth? Sometimes our mouth can be our greatest enemy. It can be, your mouth can be, I put here, your greatest advocate or your greatest adversary. But you are the one that gets to choose this. And so everything works for the good of those that love the Lord. This is something that I live by. Whenever something is happening and it may not be how I like it, I say, you know what? It's going to all work together for my good. And so I want to speak this over you guys. May the rest of this year bring forth to you and your family miracles, signs, wonders, and blessings into your life. My prayer is that whatever y'all are believing for, that you will not destroy it with your mouth, that you will continue to affirm, declare, and decree what you want to see. I pray that you all will experience peace in your mind and heart like never before, a peace that surpasses all understanding. Because I truly believe that if God led us to this opportunity, he'll see us through it, regardless of the outcome. And so don't let the enemy punk you out of what God promised you. It's a time for our mental reset. Reset your mind. Don't allow yourself to be shaken every time change occurs. You almost should be at the point where you expect change. We're living in that kind of time. And so, as Keith said, the lights are still on. So that means we are still in business. And so, ladies and gentlemen, it has been my absolute honor and privilege to serve you all today. Have an absolutely blessed and highly favored rest of your year. That's it for me, Keith.